Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So for today, I already have my matte peel off base coat applied and we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. But as you can see, my nails are definitely starting to look a lot better, so I'm definitely happy about that. And here I have all of my nail tips sized out for me today. For my middle finger, I will be using a bigger tip because I'm currently all out of my 4, so we're kind of making it work a little bit. But because we are using the pop-off method today, I will be gluing on my tips using some matte top coat. And before I start to cut and shape these tips, I am going to go in with one more layer of matte top coat just to seal everything in. Now, this step is completely optional, but I do like to do it because I find that when I don't do it, my tips are always flying off super easily even before I start shaping. So this definitely helps to make sure everything is a little bit more intact, but that's all according to my opinion. Next, I'm just going to cut down my tips using my nail scissors. I did decide to go a little bit shorter for today's video because in my last upload, I definitely did a pretty long set. So I definitely want to sort of switch it up and cater to my girls, guys, and everyone in between who love to do shorter to medium sets, because I just feel like it wouldn't be fair to do long sets all the time, so I am going shorter for today. And after cutting them down, I am taking my straight edge nail clippers just to make a sort of rounded stiletto shape. I would definitely recommend trying to get the shape as good as you can at this step before you go in with your file, especially if you are doing the pop-off method like I am, because it is just a little bit more safe to try and get it as good as you can, because once you start filing and they start popping off, it can just get really irritating. So try and get the shape as perfect as you can. And lastly, I'm just going to go in with my 8080 grit nail file just to completely finish up the shape. And as I mentioned not too long ago, I am going for a rounded stiletto or like a pointy, I guess, almond shape. It's not super sharp, but also not super round at the same time. So that is definitely what I'm trying to achieve here. And I'm also going to take this time to really bring in that middle finger because, like I said, I did use a number 3 and that is definitely a little bit too big. So I'm going to be taking that nail file and really trying to make it sort of flush with my actual nail size. So here's what everything looks like once I've shaped up these tips, and now we're ready for the application. So today's acrylic application process is going to be pretty quick because it is a very simple process and it really didn't take me that long in real time. So for this set, I am using a clear acrylic base and I did mix it with a little bit of black gel polish. Because I am mixing in that black gel polish with my monomer, I am making sure to use something that isn't super thick so that you don't have patches of black that aren't fully mixed in. So just a little bit of advice, do not go for your most full coverage black to do this. Definitely go for something that is a little bit more on the light to medium coverage or like sheer side. And of course, feel free to add as much black as you want. Just for reference, I added about 3 to 4 drops of black polish to create this color. I didn't want to add too much because I didn't want it to look completely black. I still wanted to be able to see my nail underneath. So yeah, just for reference, I did about 3 to 4 drops. But with that out of the way, I will go ahead and let you finish watching the rest of this application. Okay, so here's what the application is looking like, and now we are ready to shape and file. And as always, I'm going to go in with my 80/80 grit nail file just to shape the undersides and the sidewalls of the nail first. And just a little side note, when I was filing the undersides, I did make sure to give it a little bit of a round appearance. I didn't want to file it completely straight because then that would end up messing up the overall round appearance of the entire nail. So definitely follow the natural curve of the nail tip once you go ahead and file underneath the nails. Next, I'm going to be sealing my cuticle using my medium carbide bit. And in retrospect, I could have gone in with my fine carbide bit or even my medium sanding band. I really didn't need to do my medium carbide bit because I didn't have too much work to do. But of course, use what works best for you. If that's a nail file, a cuticle bit, or a sanding band, go ahead and use that. Here, I'm just going in with the same 80/80 grit nail file to completely file the surface. Now, with the shape that I am doing in today's video, I would recommend making the tip of the nail the thinnest part. Normally, when I am doing something like an almond or even a pointy almond or a rounded stiletto, I find that it is best to completely make that tip nice and thin, not like super like paper thin, but definitely make it thinner than the rest of the nail. You want it to sort of transition from that apex all the way down into a point so that it looks nice and crisp. And lastly, before we jump into the nail art, I am going to go ahead and with my mini buffer just to completely smooth the surface out. Now I'm just going to fully wipe off my nails using some isopropyl alcohol. And I'm first going to go in with a layer of matte top coat for today. Now, I was actually planning on having most of the set be matte and then the chrome parts would be shiny, but I really did not like how that looked. The matte top coat ended up just kind of working as a base coat and it definitely worked pretty well. I would definitely use this over an actual base coat. And if you've worked with matte top coat, then you know that matte top coat doesn't have a sticky layer after you cure it. That makes it perfect for something like a chrome design because you don't have to worry about wiping off the nails before you go in with the chrome and everything will dust off very nicely. So in the future, when I want to do more chrome nails, because you guys know I love chrome nails, I will probably end up using a matte top coat as my base coat because I really did like how this worked. But after I have that layer of matte top coat applied, I'm just going to go ahead and cure it for 30 to 60 seconds. Next up, I'm going to be taking some black gel polish to create these random patches of chrome. And for this part, you can be as random as you want. I definitely wanted to be a little bit random with it because I wanted every nail to look different. So definitely take this time to just kind of think of random shapes and designs so that every nail has its own uniqueness. And after I have that first layer of black applied, I'm going to go ahead and cure for 30 seconds. Now, when you go in with your second layer of black, you want to make sure that you're covering every single spot that you did in the first layer so that once you go in with the chrome, you won't have any black pieces sticking out. And for this layer, we're going to go ahead and cure for 15 to 20 seconds. For today, I am using this silver chrome. Everything that I am using in today's video, of course, will be linked down in the description box below. And the main reason that I am showing you guys which one I am using is because the one that I use comes with at least 10 different chrome powders, and they all work a little bit differently. The one that I am using in today's video is typically the shiniest, and I really love how reflective it is. And what I will say is that how long you cure that base color of gel polish definitely affects how shiny it is. So definitely try not to cure it for anything less than 15 seconds and no longer than 20. But anyways, after rubbing on that chrome powder, I did go in with a layer of top coat, and now I'm going in with some more top coat just to create some little squiggles. And even though I did use top coat, I definitely recommend using something a little bit thicker. So like a rhinestone glue, that would definitely work very well in order to create that 3D effect a little bit quicker. Unfortunately, because I am using a top coat, I did have to do this in probably like 4 to 5 layers. So this was definitely a little bit time consuming, but it was certainly worth it. So if you are using this method, do take that into consideration. And after you do those squiggles, I would recommend flipping your hand for about 5 to 10 seconds before you go in and cure. So here's what the nail is looking like after I did 4 to 5 coats of that clear. Now I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the exact same process to the other 4 nails. As I mentioned earlier, it is a good idea to give these nails a little bit of variation. So as you can see, I am doing a different shape on my middle finger, kind of leaning more towards like a French tip, if that makes sense. But at this point, it is definitely up to you and totally your choice how much you want to make these nails vary from one another. But at the end of the day, have fun with this. Don't get too caught up in making sure it's perfect. This is just an art form, so have fun with it. But enough of me running my mouth. I will just go ahead and let you guys enjoy the rest of this nail art. So I did go ahead and do my thumbnail off camera, and here's what it is looking like. And if you guys have been here for some time, then you guys know that I love this lighting. So of course, I've got to give you some shots in this lighting as well. I'm just going to finish off this set with some cuticle oil. And that completes today's set. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Now, I know that this is definitely not spring nails. It's definitely not like any type of season nails, but I definitely wanted to do something that was a bit ethereal because I just love the whole like ethereal nails, just super like magical looking. I wanted to do something inspired by that. Not to mention, I also wanted to do something that was a little bit more on the simple side. I know I've been giving you guys a lot of sets that just have been very intricate, and I definitely want to balance it out sometimes and do something that's more on the simple side yet still very classy. Of course, I want to hear what you guys think of this set. This is definitely something a little bit different, but as always, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys in the next one.